I was having a conversation with somebody who was telling me about a time that they solved a problem. And they didn't present it like, I solved the problem by doing this. I don't even think they were approaching it like they had a problem, which is how I think they got to the answer a lot quicker. Let me explain. So, an acquaintance? Who was this person? How do I tell you about this person? A person I do not know was telling me they had recently started up painting. They asked me, this is how the conversation started. They asked me for hobby suggestions. And it's funny because I'm telling you, I don't know this person, and they came up to me and they said, I want a hobby suggestion for you. Let's not get too buried in the details here of how this conversation came about. Just understand, I'm talking to somebody about a hobby. And she tells me that she wanted to pick up painting. She wasn't sure how to do it, like where to start. She knew she needed some paint and canvas. But beyond that, she really wasn't sure what to do. And knew that she should probably pick up a book or try to find out some information, right? What do you do when you don't know something? You go online, you try to figure it out. But what ended up happening was not that. She kind of, the way she, I don't like this, but I can live with it. Sometimes I'm recording in the day. Sometimes I'm recording at night. Sometimes I have a lot of light. Sometimes I don't. Okay. The way that she proposed this to me was that she was trying to unlearn the thing that we all have been forced to learn our entire lives. We know that things have to be done a certain way. Our parents tell us this, our teachers tell us this, and then you graduate, you get older, you realize, actually, I don't need to do things anyway at all. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And that is exactly how she approached this problem. And in talking with her, I realized this person, though it was not their intention, at least from the start, is actually a genius because she solved the problem that I think a lot of people face. We see that there has been an established order.
Such a dick, Ian.
We see there is a structure, there's a way to do things, and that everybody else is following it. And sometimes the situation is right, and we say, you know what? I'm not going to do that thing. I see everybody else going right, I'm going to go left. Or I see the way that it's been done, and there's a flaw in that system. It hasn't been done correctly this whole time. And I'm going to try to change it. I'm going to go against the grain of what everybody else is doing, and I'm going to make this thing my own. And that's the problem. You're still reacting to that first thing. You're still saying that initial thing is the thing that I'm following, and I'm now going to try to do this other thing as a reaction to that. But what this person did was different. She saw an opportunity and recognized maybe some limitations that she was facing from the beginning. So again, she wanted to paint something and realized, I'm not a painter. I don't know what I'm doing. And so instead of going and spending a bunch of time doing research and looking up the best way, the best brush, what kind of materials do I need, she tossed all that out and used paint and a fork and a spoon. She just said, I see what everybody else is doing, and I'm going to be doing something completely different, because the activity here is not the painting itself, right? She wasn't trying to say, I'm going to be the best painter. It was more saying, I'm going to create something. The way that I related to that, the thing that came to my mind when I heard this, it's like a form of intellectual rebellion. You're not just saying, I'm not going to do this because everybody else is doing it. You're seeing how you fit into the thing and then how you can make it your own. And in talking to her, I realized how big a deal that was. That simple thought of not just looking at the thing, disagreeing with it, and doing the opposite, or trying to change it, but to say that there isn't a space there for me until I create it. Or I'm not going to be a part of this thing. I am not going to be a painter because I'm not a painter. I'm going to make my own thing. That is huge. And I think something that we take for granted as creatives, I know I certainly think, this is the way that I do things. I have gotten to the point where it's not even something I think about really. It's just automatic. And in doing this, approaching it in this way, an intellectual rebellion, in saying, I'm going to approach this thing the way that I want to approach it. She was able to find a lot of benefits. Again, she's not going to be the most incredible painter, but that's not the objective here. Her goal here is to figure out what she can create. And what she said was, because I wasn't so focused on the tools and the materials, I was able to continue. I was more focused because I was enthralled with the activity and not the result. That's like so challenging to be able to do, but definitely a goal that I know I certainly strive to get past the result and into the creative like mind frame just to create for creation's sake. Whew, that is next level brilliance, I think. And that's why I said, I think you are a genius, though you didn't set out to be a genius. Hearing that from her and the focus being less on the result of the activity and more on actually doing the activity and seeing yourself in that place, really, it echoed an experience I had had earlier in the week. So with a client, I went out on a boat. We were looking for whales, specifically this event, to advertise an event that they were having. And I had never really done that. I've never done that, but I've been out on the water enough. And so I wasn't like super excited about this experience. I was kind of like thinking, man, this is going to be really time consuming. And I was putting up a lot of walls around this activity.
You need to stop worrying so
yes.
much.
Good. Mm-hmm. So I was putting up a lot of walls of this activity. And we're out on the water. And I think my frame of reference for being out on the water is like largely based on TVs and movies where something is always happening. And in my life, I know I'm usually racing towards something. I'm trying to cut through the least amount of resistance to try to get to the point that I'm going. And that's exactly what we were doing on the water. And it was the most boring experience because I was trying to be open. Let me tell you, I was trying to be open to everything that was happening. I was just sitting, waiting, watching. Yep, that's a lot of water with nothing else going on. And we were looking for whales. So maybe I was like really laser focused on something and it wasn't happening. And so I was getting frustrated. But I wasn't frustrated. I was just aware of what was going on, just waiting. Because I wanted this to be an experience because I haven't had that experience before. And it wasn't all that thrilling. It was kind of so-so. It was just like every other experience that I've had recently. It wasn't until the very end of this trip. We were out for like an hour and a half. We're already on our way. I can see land now. We're, a couple minutes in from harbor. And the way the boat was set up, there's like this part here where you could sit, like kind of like a yacht, I guess. And then up here was where the captain was, and we were sitting because we needed a good shot of the whales. And for whatever reason, I was like, we're close enough to land. I'm going to go down and check out, see if I can get some other shots. And when I went down there is when it unlocked for me. The experience that I had was the one that I was looking for. And maybe that's the problem. I was looking for an experience. I went down And I'm kind of looking around, and it's probably like 10 feet from this ladder to get up and to the end of the boat. So I don't have a ton of space, but I walk to the end. I'm looking around at the water kind of splashing behind us, and I turn around to go back up the ladder, and I see the water being cut by the front of the boat, and it's like splashing off to the side. And I kind of like take my camera, get some shots, and then I put my camera down and I look, and as I kind of poke my head out, the wind kind of catches me. The wind of us moving, we're going really fast and the wind is coming at me. And as we're moving, water is splashing on me too. It's not like splash zone, right? But it is like water is hitting me, like misting into my face. And it was like a dog with its head out the window. So exciting and different, and I wasn't expecting it. And it was like such a sharp contrast to the experience that I'd had before. I was expecting, cool, we're going to see some whales, we're going to see some wildlife, and that is going to be the thing that really excites me about this trip. And the thing that excited me was sitting on the side of this boat as wind and water splashed into my face. And you could easily say, oh, well, you were waiting for this, and this kind of was a moment where you set yourself aside. And similar to the experience with this person I was talking to, where they're saying, I am rebelling with intention. That was something that I hadn't thought deeply enough about. In that moment when I'm getting water splashed on my face, I was really just so excited because it was so like funny to me and enjoyable. The wind and the water, it was just like a funny, exciting thing. And I need to create more of those moments, to be more hands off. Even when I'm trying to be hands off, I'm like usually really aware of it. And that's where this idea of intelligent rebellion comes in, I think. Not just rebelling to rebel or do the opposite because everybody else is doing that thing and that's been established. I really need to focus on seeing myself in a place and inserting the little bit of me that I can, being open to whatever it is, but also trying to understand my limitations and how I can make this thing my own. Quite the challenge. I don't think I'll be doing it anytime soon. It's not going to be something that I wake up one morning and I'm just perfect. But it's something I can do and something that I'm going to be aware of, mindful of for the future. I'm wondering if you have anything like this, any instances where you might be able to do this thing, to rebel with intention and intelligence. Let me know. Let me know. As I think about this more, I'm wondering if there's other people out there that have their own version of this, and I'd love to hear, what's your version? Something that you've engineered for yourself to be an intelligent rebeller.